Hopefully, everybody's having a good day. Hopefully, everybody's having a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Hopefully, everybody's having good times. Let all the worries float away. Anyhow, hey, I want to talk about how to start a private security company. This is episode 200. If you see that the camera is shaky, no worries at all. As you can see, I'm on the road. Just listen to the audio. Don't pay attention to the video. Now, I mentioned episode 200. Why is that? Because I have made probably hundreds of videos on how to start a private security company. A lot. I got people from other states that know how to start a security company in California. And I got people in California that don't know how to start a security company in their own state. That's how many videos I made. I made so many that people from other states watch, and they already know what we're looking for, the processes involved. This video is a little bit different than the others. It's kind of like, what do you need to know to get started? What should you know to get started? Guys, we have a webinar coming up on June 14th. Or is it June 18th? June 18th. And we have very limited seats. Some people try to sign up for the course, and it was full. It's full. I'm trying to get Citywide Protective Services to open up more seats. Until that time comes, it's full, but keep trying, because I'm trying to have them again open up more seats. It's a webinar basically on how to make a lot of money, how does one make millions of dollars in private security, and Tom Tobar made a lot of money in private security, over $100 million. He'll talk about it very briefly, and he'll discuss some items of discussion out there that will help you leverage your resources. Check out the description box for further. I'm not going to post a link to that webinar right now because, as you can see, I'm busy, but check back probably tomorrow or maybe even today, like in the evening. Or you can go to the other 5 or 7 videos I made, and I have links in the description box for that webinar. Additionally, check out my website. It's crimebullet.com, crimebullet.com. I think it's in the description box below. Check that out for resources, where you can find information about my 40-hour online private patrol operator course. Over the week, I've actually had a significant number of people sign up. The course is very expensive. It is pricey, but you're getting a lot of information. I mean, you are literally getting 40 hours of information on leadership and development of private security companies in the state of California, and it does help you pass the qualified manager exam. Without further ado, let's talk about starting a security company. Number one, is this something that you want to do? Have you talked to other entrepreneurs in the state? I think you guys should go out there, read books, watch videos, read the comments, and dialogue with other people who are commenting for suggestions on starting a security company. We talk about more of the headache of it than the benefits on the channel, and in a way, it kind of dissuades people from starting. Now, I started a security company. I'm not going to be the person on YouTube to say I made millions. I didn't even make. I made like nothing in private security when I started my own security company. But that's not my purpose. Some people have to fall forward, and that's what happened with me. And I found my niche is not having security services. It's teaching people how to manage their security company by navigating around California law, California SOPs, California standard operating procedures. That is my niche. That has been my niche for the last 15 years. Number one, this is actually number two. The question is this something that you really want to do? Guys, if you've ever operated a security company, it is a pain in the butt to manage personnel. Do you have the time that it takes to do the human resource element of security? That involves, do you have the time of filling out the W printing out the W-4 forms or emailing them to your staff, or going through the online route using online forms, and then at the end of the year, beginning January, February, issue W-2 forms? Do you have the time and resources to take out the Medicare taxes, Social Security taxes, all the FICA taxes? Do you have time for that? Do you have time to create personnel files? Do you know what to put in the personnel files? Some people don't. I do BSIS inspections. I don't work for the BSIS, and BSIS is the regulatory arm for security professionals in California. I don't work for them, but I do inspections, like pre-inspections for security companies who are going to go through an audit. We sit down for a few hours. I audit the files. There's surprise inspections that are done, and I prepare them for the audit. Once the BSIS knocks at your door unannounced, and they do that sometimes, and we talk about it in my 40-hour class and how to prepare yourself, the adrenaline rush is insane. I've been through audits, and they're not fun, but they're entertaining once you know the rules. Once you know the rules, it becomes entertaining, because then you can, I don't want to say network with the BSIS investigator. I don't want to say befriend, but we can gather information that we can use later on to run a more successful business from BSIS, from the BSIS investigator. Another thing that you have to consider is training. You know, your guards have to be up to date on training. Are you able to create a repository record where you know when the guard card expiration is coming? Do you have a system that can do that for you? Invoicing, right? Do you have the capabilities of invoicing, billing, payroll? All this is a complete headache. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way if you have the right resources. But I'm just saying that there's more to do. Now, one of the fine components of starting a security company is marketing. Do you have salesperson abilities or salesmanship abilities? And for me, I don't. A lot of people want to hire me for marketing. You're crazy, because I'm the most introverted person that's out there. Yeah, I talk on YouTube, right? Where I have a YouTube channel that has over 11,000 subscribers. But again, I'm not a very social person, and you have to be able to make cold calls. You have to be able to just enter a situation cold. You feel comfortable, right? And you make that other person feel comfortable as well. I honestly think that maybe even a car salesman are probably a little bit more successful at selling security services than a lot of other people. But it takes that mentality. It takes takes those abilities. Because look, let's face it, if you don't have salesmanship abilities, you're not even going to have a security company, because you're not going to have a revenue. You're not going to have a stream of revenue. So that's, that's a really important question. And oftentimes, I get a lot of people with sales backgrounds reaching out to me and wanting to start their own security company just because they're not getting along with the owners of the company or with their partners, and they feel like they can do better. So they reach out to me and they want to start a security company. However, they don't know how to manage the business. Some of them do, right? I mean, if you got good salesmanship abilities and you have you're a maven of knowledge in the security industry, you're a maven at security operations, then you are it. You're the face of the company, and maybe you don't need to work with anybody as your partner. Now, I think this is kind of important. Well, it's really important. It's capital. How much do you need to start your security company? And the answer is, I don't know how much you need. I've done some calculations. I think, I don't know, guys, were we at $37,500 to start a security company in California? Yeah, $37,500. I think I pushed it up. And what this entails basically is you should have several months in advance for rent. And you should also have maybe a month or longer of wages, of capital that consists of employee wages. Because what happens is your client isn't going to pay you on time. I mean, that's a thing in the security industry. And if they don't pay you on time, how are you going to pay your employees? You can't say, hey, I can't pay you because the client hasn't paid. Because quite honestly, that is involuntary servitude. It's modern day slavery. Think about it. Okay, you worked a 40-hour week, you worked your butt off, you got into a use of force incident, you got injured, and then at the end of the day, your employer says, hey, sorry, can't pay you this week because we're still waiting on payment from the client. How would that make you feel as an employee? That is slavery, guys. That's modern day slavery. It's involuntary servitude. And there are repercussions for that if you're going to pull one of those. Every single year, it seems like there's these there's these mediocre security companies that contract to other mediocre security companies to work the Coachella Fest. And every year, these security officers have trouble getting paid on time because the vendors, the clients didn't pay on time. Vendor didn't pay the primary contractor on time. The primary contractor cannot pay your employer on time, and you don't get paid. So that's what I'm saying is have a couple of months saved. Now, I know that there's some people in the comments and all the other videos, they're saying, hey, you know what? You don't need $37,500. I started a security company with $800. Okay, great. Maybe you want to do a video on that. The question is, why are you watching my video? Like, why did you watch all 30 minutes of it if you could start a security company with $800? Or you get the person, I started my security company 30 years ago, and we started with $500. Your video of saving $37,500-ish is a joke. Okay, it's a joke. Look, you save how much you want to save for. I don't care. I don't care how much you think you should save for. I don't care if you're offended. People get offended when I tell them to save that much. And that number that I'm having you guys save, it's on a conservative, it's a really conservative number. Really conservative. And look, if you save like $38,000, at the end of the day, and you only use 5,000 of it, you have more money left over, right? But you have to save for that rainy day, and it does happen. It will absolutely happen. And if you don't have, if you didn't save up for like for rent for a couple months, and then you're not getting paid, or business is low, you're not going to survive. And then you're not going to survive if you don't save up for employee wages, right? Maybe a month worth, maybe two months. Start off with maybe 2 weeks worth, and then work your way up. And then if you can, guys, if you can save 6 months of rent and then 6 months of employee wages, oh my goodness, you are doing great. You're doing absolutely great. And then even patrol vehicle. So that number I came up with that is not a vehicle patrol account. That is strictly a foot patrol full-time account. And I've made numerous videos on YouTube. Just type in on YouTube how to start a security company, or how much does it cost to start a security company, and a bunch of my videos will pop up, and I justify those numbers. If you're in California and you're saying that you could start a security company for $1,000, you are lying to yourself, right? Just the licensing alone costs, with LifeScan and everything, you're looking at an easy $1,400. $1,400, right? And remember, you need insurance, and I recommend that you purchase the policy at once and not make these monthly payments, because the way I like to run business is have no depth, have very little depth. Because if you're pulling in $5,000 a month of revenue from your security business, but in depth with like monthly payments, you're paying $4,500, you're left with $500 of profit. You think about it. And honestly, you would be better off not putting anybody that works at McDonald's down or Jack in the Box. But you would make more money at Jack in the Box or McDonald's than running a security company that is constantly depending on paying your debt on time every single month. And those are the security companies that are going to fold. Every month, if you're having to make monthly payments for software, for subscriptions, for vehicle payments, you're not running your company in the green. So that's all I got right now. These are just some thoughts. Hopefully I dissuaded some people from starting a security company. But if you're interested, then go for it, right? Some people, including myself, they have to just try something. Because you don't know what it's like to start a security company unless you have a security company. And a lot of people, including myself, we just don't realize it. Like, we have to get wrecked in business to realize that maybe a security company running a security company just isn't for them. Or operating a security company isn't for them. And then if you don't want to operate a security company, if you don't want to own one, what's to say you can't manage one, right? So for me, I guess one of my end career goals is to manage someone else's security company when I retire from my law enforcement career. I don't want to run my own company anymore. It's a headache. Now, training business is different. My private investigation business is different, but just private security, I'd rather run someone else's shop than do all that on my own. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot. All right, guys, that's all I got. If you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions to others, please comment below.